And that's when I said, I don't have a story this time. I was too lazy to think of one.
I literally thought of one when I was at the store earlier, though.
Oh, what was it?
Literally just quoting Maho's audition for Danganronpa Kill Cure.
Oh, that's the wrong link.
No!
We don't want 50-pound elephant steaks. Here we go.
Oh, I was thinking that you might have actually accidentally sent out the Hangouts link, and then suddenly we'd have Death Gun in here again.
You cannot kick me from the chat.
That was the best. Classic. Hey, Death Gun. If you're still here, if you're still around, we miss you.
I wonder if that guy understands how much we love him.
It's one of the best things that's happened.
Yeah.
That was like, what, my second or third?
Something like that. Why there? Very Jewish of us.
Very Jewish?
Very Jewish. Oh, grapes are nice is now following me. Grapes are nice.
Grapes are nice.
You know what's nice? Grapes. They got a bad rap.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Let's start.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to the Baka Gaijin show. I'm your lovable rascal of a host, Siegfried, and with me, as always, is my completely financially indexed co-host, Kevin Faulkner.
I don't know what that means.
That reminds me of another Family Guy skit where they make a joke about Benjamin Disraeli, and then you see him in his office writing on a quill pen, and he just turns to face the camera and is like, "You don't even know who I am, do you?"
Who? No, seriously, who?
He was some historical figure in like late 1800s England. I forget exactly what he did. Yeah, but I just love the obscurity of that.
Honestly, it just kind of proves the point of the skit.
Yeah, they did something similar in another episode where Joe Pesci comes out of a bathroom and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Joe Pesci." Oh wait, I forgot. You guys don't know who Joe Pesci is because you're 14. For those of you who don't know, this is what a tough guy looked like in the 90s. That's great.
Are you talking to me?
I do remember though that Mr. Ender got very mad because that joke was in the same episode as the cut horizontally for attention, vertically for effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do those jokes, just maybe not together.
Remember when, oh man, back when Mr. Ender used to get apocalyptically upset at everything.
Yeah.
Not sure if those were good times or bad times.
They were the best of times. They were the worst of times. They were certainly times.
I'll admit he's definitely improved in his analytical, just being more generally analytical and not being so.
Yeah. Well, I think like
over the top.
I don't know. I think like at the time it was very like, oh, everyone loves it when I shit on Family Guy or Teen Titans Go, so I'm just gonna keep doing that for a while. And like eventually that just kind of became a thing, just to get. It felt like he was going into every video very angry already, whereas now it feels like he's ripping on things that are a little bit more uniquely deserving.
Like Reanimated. God, that movie's shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even when that movie premiered, I'm like, this is terrible. But then the commercials were like the hit Cartoon Network movie, and I'm like, did I miss something?
Based on the hit out of Jimmy's head, based on the hit movie Reanimated.
Yeah, they said it was the hit movie, and I'm like, did I miss something? That movie was terrible. People other than me watched that.
Hit movie, more like hit the garbage bin. Oh. So anyway, we're gonna do something a little different this episode, and we're gonna break formula. We're gonna get to the fucking point first, and then bullshit later.
Yeah!
Never before happened on Baka Gaijin show, except for all those times I'm probably forgetting.
No, I think this is actually the first time we've done this.
No, maybe not, because like a lot of those early episodes were like main point, main point, main point. You know, so
main point. What you up to? Main point.
Yeah. Oh man, Sometimes I miss those early episodes. You know, when we had a lot of different guests and we had like 4 fucking main topics per episode. It was kind of insane, actually, but you know.
Yeah, and then you have the fucking guys over at NTR Radio who keep doing this shit like every other week and still manage to. They have over 100 episodes.
Yeah, congratulations to them, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude! Like, holy shit!
Everybody go watch NTR Radio. Not right now, later, but you know,
they're not even on right now.
Yeah, that's true. Put it in the back of your mind.
Oh my god, that just reminds me of the one.
To be fair, I get ideas for podcasts all the time, and I feel like if we were a little bit more committed to this, we could do it pretty consistently. But as for now, we just kind of do it whenever for fun. For funsies.
Just fine too.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna get right to the main point, which is that early this morning, there were a series of announcements from the land of the rising sun. A new champion has risen in the east at dawn of the 5th day. So
the only reason I know about this is because the first thing I do every morning when I wake up is check the internet, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And like literally, I wake up, roll over, grab my tablet, and it's like, what's on Twitter?
Yep.
And the first thing I saw was someone tell Kevin to wake the fuck up.
Okay, no. The first thing you saw was probably some bullshit Hero Academia shipping drama. The second thing you saw was me telling you to wake the fuck up. I know the Twitters. I've been around the block. I know how this works.
Anyway, so what is the news exactly, Zeke? Like I don't already know.
You don't already know, because I'm about to tell your stupid, ignorant ass.
You are!
Yep. So, the company's name is Tokyo Games, otherwise known as Tokyo Games. And it is being led by Danganronpa series creator Kazutaka Kodaka, Zero Escape series creator Kotaro Uchikoshi, and several other staff members we're going to talk about right now because I'm going to list them. Masafumi Takada, the music composer for Danganronpa.
Also, Digimon Adventure Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
That's true. The fucking battle theme from Cyber Sleuth sounds fucking class trial-erific.
No, seriously, damn.
It does.
I need to finish that game. I got like 35, 40 hours in, and I'm near the end game.
Okay. I got like 4 hours in. I have a lot of games to play.
It's very grindy.
Yeah, there's also that, but like, I just got pissed off because it wouldn't fucking display at the right resolution. I don't know what that is about.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Illustrator, character designer Shima Doiru of Danganronpa and Fate Grand Order. He is more of a background environmental artist, so you might not have heard of him. Director, scenario writer Takumi Nakazawa of Ever 17 and Root Double. I have not gotten around to playing Root Double, so I'm not super sure of this guy's abilities. I know Root Double and that whole series is pretty divisive among VN fans. Some people love it, some people hate it.
A lot of people do like Ever 17, though.
Yeah, which sounds like this guy is perfect for this company, then. Novelist / scenario writer Yoichiro Koizumi of Break-kun Core and Ultra Despair Hagakure. And Uchikoshi. The object of this company is to do something new, which is the creation of a new IP commonly known all over the world. In the future, we will make indie games by ourselves, Kodaka said in a statement. This new company enables us to move freely towards the goal. This comes to us by Gamatsu.com, by the way, although I'm sure you can find it in a variety of other places. For new projects are currently underway at Tokyo Games. We're going to go through these projects real quick, and then we're going to discuss how we feel about everything.
Okay.
Each one of these came with a piece of concept art. 3 of the 4 have art and designs by Komatsuzaki, except for the third one, which is by an artist named Take, who I am not familiar with.
Do you want us to like alternate between the two of us, naming off what these are or what?
Sure, you go first.
So you
You go first.
Okay. Project 1 is a game with a Kodaka Uchikoshi joint scenario, Limit X Despair. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be Limit N Despair or Limit.
That's not the title, by the way. That's just like a tagline or
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Limit N Despair or Limit Times
I
Despair.
heard it was I heard it said as Extreme X Despair, so maybe that's like a translation thing. I don't know.
A video game that all creators of Tokyo Games will concentrate their abilities on. The genre has not been revealed yet. Kodaka and Uchikoshi will make the scenario together.
Right. And this is probably the most prominent piece of promotional art that's been going around.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the more visually striking ones. Very, very Uchikoshi, or not Uchikoshi, very Komatsuzaki in this, in the art. A lot of people are calling this main girl here, the red Peko, which reminds me of way back when people called Maki the red Kirigiri. So I guess we're just continuing in that tradition. This girl has stolen Maki's stocking. I don't know what that's about either.
Hey, give it back.
Give it back. She needs that.
Do you want to die?
The little kid there with the purple bowl cut. He looks pretty similar to Yuta Shirokawa from Danganronpa 0. Then the guy with the sword. I've been mentally calling him Munakibo in my head because he looks like a.
He does look like a cross between Munakata and Kibo.
Yeah,
he's like Munakata with Kibo's hair.
Yeah. And some people are like confused by the older man here and think like, oh, that might be a different artist. It's not. That is exactly how Komatsuzaki draws old men. You might remember the painting of the original founder Izuru Kamakura in DR2 looked pretty similar to that.
It's just all these super anime characters and suddenly photorealistic old man.
Yeah, I don't know why Komatsuzaki does that.
Why, dude?
It's pretty interesting.
Oh god, imagine if he did that for like what's his name? The guy who's the leader of Future Foundation.
Oh, Kazuo Tengen.
Yeah, Tengen. Imagine if he did that with Tengen.
I mean, Tengen was a little bit more featured than most, but like he still had a very distinct Danganronpa style to him. This guy looks pretty realistic. Maybe like the more anime features are like his idea of expressing youth, I guess. Maybe.
Honestly, the look of him kind of reminds me of like just the kind of sort of God, what's the word I'm looking for? The like uncanny valley photorealism kind of reminds me of the original design concept for Monokuma, where he was based on like a cross section of a human body.
Yeah. And then there's a raccoon, and that's pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, sweet! This is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
This is the real unexpected collaboration.
Yeah. There were some other details on this one somewhere else, but I'm forgetting exactly what they were. Something about spirits and whatnot. So genre has not yet been revealed. I'm gonna guess that this is probably a more action-heavy title because when Kodaka was doing interviews after V3 released, he was talking about how he wanted to make games. He didn't want to just be known as a writer.
Like not just visual novels strictly.
Yeah.
He kind of dabbled in it a little bit with Ultra Despair Girls, but generally speaking, he's known mostly for visual novel work.
Yeah. If I just from this one image and what they've said, I'm gonna guess that this is probably some kind of hack and slash, some kind of DMC-esque sort of deal.
Yeah, because you got at least 2 characters with swords here.
Yeah. And then there's that dude in the background, like with the skull. That dude in the background that looks like he came straight out of Skyrim. It's odd.
Like Skyrim crossed with Diablo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which is pretty cool because like, we could always use more entries in that kind of, as the gaming Brit says, the good combat genre.
I'm kind of wondering. This is probably a little detail here that a lot of people are probably overlooking, but why is there a TV there?
That's a good question.
Because my immediate thought is something along the lines of Persona 4.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because I've been dabbling slightly in Persona 4 recently.
Yeah, that is very interesting. It reminds me of V3 promotion where there was one particular piece where there were just like broken TVs scattered around the ground. Of course, we now can infer what that meant, but at the time it was quite mysterious.
Oh man, you gotta send me that piece of promo art because I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. Hold on. It's my.
No, do it later. I'll remind you.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that I'm trying to look at something and the scrolling is weird. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So, God damn it! Why is the scrolling so weird? Fix your fucking website, Gamatsu. I swear.
Use the arrow keys.
I don't have arrow keys. I mean, I got a bar, but I don't got like arrow keys.
God damn! How do you not have arrow keys on your laptop?
Oh! I thought you meant on the page. Oh, so that's not working either. Anyway, project number 2.
I hope you heard that facepalm.
Yeah, project number 2, with the tagline "Everyone is a villain," is
This one really interests me, but go ahead.
Yeah, is an anime project in collaboration with Studio Pierrot, everyone's favorite. The original author is Kodaka, and the character designer is Kamatsuzaki. They will depict the image of action films in the 90s, such as Pulp Fiction and The Professional. A little more information I dug up is that even though the original story concept and writing is very Kodaka involved, the actual screenplay is being done by the fucking Gakugarashi creator again, who also did DR3. So he's back again.
Nice.
Yeah. So I forget his name. It's something. It's like Norimitsu Kohei or something.
Let me fucking look that up.
Yeah. You would know him. He's the creator of Gakugarashi, and he was the series composition on Danganronpa 3.
Norimitsu Kaiho.
Kaiho, yeah. So he's back. And then the director of this series is going to be, I forget his name, but he directed Twin Star Exorcists, which had big scheduling problems, but like the actual like storyboarding and directing was pretty good. So that's good.
I also looked him up, and he's apparently the director for 2 different, 2 of the 4 Persona 3 films. So,
he was. Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
He was.
Yeah. Which ones though? Which films?
What's his name again?
I don't know. I didn't look at. You're the one who looked them up.
What Persona 3 movie? I will look that up for you right now.
Okay. All right. So this anime project is probably one of the more interesting because it's more than likely going to be the first one out of the gate. Just by its very nature, games take longer to develop than anime seasons, so
Don't think it's that one.
Can't find it.
Hold on. You know what? I'm going through ANN right now, which is literally the most useful place to go right now.
Yeah. So just by the very nature of the medium, this is probably going to be the first project from this company out of the gate. Very interesting that it's like very interesting that they're going with like an original anime prospect and not trying to promote another game or something.
This is actually the project that interests me the most, like out of the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, the director is Tomohisa Taguchi.
Yeah.
Who was storyboarder for the first 2 movies director of movies 2 and 4 for Persona 3, and he was series unit director for all 4 movies.
Okay, well, those movies are really well directed, so that speaks well.
Yeah.
I think maybe Twin Star Exorcist, even though that links back to Perot, I don't think that's maybe the best example of his work, just because of the tight schedule and budget constraints that show had. But
he was also the director for the recent Kino's Journey reboot anime,
Hmm.
which I heard was also very well done. If like it's not as good as the original Kino's Journey, but it's still a well done adaptation.
Yeah.
And he also did Persona 4 the Golden animation.
Oh well, that's whatever.
Yeah, I figured as much because
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like, it's enjoyable, but it's like it's literally like that anime has literally no reason to exist.
yeah, I remember you talking to me about that. It's like it exists. I don't even know why it does, but it's all right.
There's a few things that are cool about it, like episode I think 6 really fleshes out the villain in a way like the game didn't. And the game does pretty well, but like this actually gave a lot more background to it. So I always recommend people watch like episode 6 of the Golden anime because it really expands on that. But
noted.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just a lot of fan service.
So, yeah, at the very least, it has a good director on board, as far as we know. I just hope that he has a good creative environment and enough good scheduling so that he's able to actually.
That's the big question in the room is if Studio Pierrot can deliver with resources and scheduling, because they don't have the best reputation for those things. So,
like I was saying though, this is the one that interests me the most because it's the one that's very much Komatsuzaki Kodaka together.
Yeah,
and I feel like I got a pretty good idea of Kodaka's general writing. And the fact that it's also being done by the writer of School Live is pretty awesome. I love School Live.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm going to imagine this is probably only one core, probably a pretty compact story. Just based on the fact that this is just a startup company.
Them comparing it to stuff like Pulp Fiction is pretty great too, because
that's
80s and 90s action. 80s and 90s hard R action movies. That's my shit.
Yeah. And that's stuff we don't always see too often in anime, so that's pretty unique.
Yeah, so also the guy on the right for this promo art straight up looks like Josuke with glasses.
Yeah. It's true. You notice the guy on the left actually has a robot arm, if you look closely.
He does, actually. He does, huh?
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be some like minor, like sort of cyberpunk-ish elements to this, I suppose.
Yeah. As for when this will air, definitely next year. I'm going to say probably maybe spring, summer-ish.
Yeah, I was thinking spring or summer because if they're announcing it now, that means they're already beginning pre-production.
Yeah.
And planning. So that gives them. So ideally, they should have a year of lead time.
Yeah. Maybe winter, but that's like 5%. Honestly, I'm not counting on it. I'm saying spring or summer, maybe even fall. Really, although I mean, announcing something a whole year in advance is a little sketchy. In the anime world.
Yeah, super interested in that one. So don't disappoint me.
Anyway, so you go on to project number 3.
Project number 3 is a game. The tagline is a children's death game by children for children. An action-adventure game by Kodaka as the general manager, Uchikoshi as a scenario writer, and Nakazawa as a director. Nakazawa being...
the Root Double guy.
The Root Double guy, yeah. Concept art by Take, illustrator known for Tawagoto, represents school children playing a death game. It is very shocking. Their words, not mine. This is very shocking. This is the most unusual one because this is so out of left field compared to everything else.
Yeah, this I don't know how to feel about it because this is giving me sort of Punchline vibes where it's like, is Uchikoshi just going crazy now?
Yeah, because it's got this very simplified, cute art style, but the concept is very, very morbid.
Yeah,
So
it reminds me. The art reminds me a little bit of Takahiro Harada, but like way more cartoony.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I really hate about it is those ears. I don't understand what's with the ears.
It's like, what are these fucking rat people?
Yeah. Could be interesting. I don't expect a whole lot of Kodaka influence in this one if he's just kind of managing it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like 90% Uchikoshi, 10% Kodaka.
Yeah. And action adventure, I'm not sure what that means in this context. I'm imagining maybe something along the lines of what they did with Zero Time Dilemma, where it's like a Telltale sort of adventure game.
Yeah. But maybe with some like more active action elements.
Possibly. Or maybe just what he's used to. Maybe just more puzzle elements. I don't know.
Who knows? This one is really, really unusual, and I have no idea what to think of it.
Yeah.
I like the concept, but it's just
the art is really weird.
it's that weird juxtaposition between this very cute and appealing art with a very morbid idea.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what to think about it. We'll have to see.
You see more on that. And then project number 4 is a video game, a Spike Chunsoft Tokyo Games dark fantasy-esque mystery. In collaboration of the development team of Danganronpa and Spike Chunsoft, Kodaka actually started this project before his retirement of Spike Chunsoft. They imagine a kind of cyberpunk world based on this art. Komatsuzaki designs the characters, Shimadoreru designs backgrounds, and Masafumi Takada directs the sounds, which is interesting to me because does that imply that he's not doing the music for the other games? I don't know.
Yeah, this is based, but in general, this one is probably the alongside the anime project. This is like the most Danganronpa-esque collaboration.
Yeah, this is the Kodaka Komatsuzaki Takada dream team that we love so much.
Yeah,
so I mean, Takada might be involved with game 1. I don't know, but
and of course the dark mystery element is very Danganronpa. So.
Yeah. The only thing here is that like this is an environmental concept piece, not so much like there's no like character designs to really dissect here.
Yeah, that's the one thing that gets me about this one. Everyone else, like every single other one, has mostly character focus with some items or backgrounds thrown in to kind of indicate elements of story or setting. This one is all setting, and we don't really have anything in regards to characters aside from this cloaked silhouette figure in the middle of the piece.
Yeah, which might not even be important. It might literally just be a concept piece. Yeah, it's really interesting because they call it a dark fantasy-esque mystery, but the look looks very cyberpunk. So maybe they're going for that whole like novelistic approach of sci-fi and fantasy are just two sides of the same coin.
They kind of are, I guess, but there's a lot of specificality between the two of them that like saying that they're that close is kind of not correct.
Yeah, that phrase comes from like the hardcore literaturists that are just like, genre fiction will never stand the test of history. Fetch me my tampons, I wish to bleed. So
genre fiction will never stand the test of history. Yeah, explain why people still like Star Trek.
Yeah, So, all 4 very interesting projects. If I had to guess, I'd say the anime is definitely coming first.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of these games are gonna even come out next year. I think might be a little too soon for that. I'm thinking like 2020 the earliest for some of these, unless they're like further. Except for maybe the Spike Chunsoft collab, maybe because like that has probably more resources behind it, and it looks like it was started a bit earlier.
Yeah, but that might be a larger project, so
it's true.
And it's also the project we have the least info on, so
yeah, that's true.
I mean, we don't really have much info for any of these, but this is the one we have the loosest grasp on what it actually is.
Was Is Tokyo Game Show right now or is it later?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Right, because I'm not sure if this announcement comes from Tokyo Game Show or if they're maybe going to say more at Tokyo Game Show.
Tokyo Game Show.
This says Famitsu reported, so.
Okay, Tokyo Game Show begins September 19th, so we're probably going to get more info between then and the 23rd.
Yeah. Yeah, if they have anything more they want to say, I'd imagine Tokyo Game Show is going to be the place. So that'll be interesting.
And of course, I'd love to do another podcast if we actually do get more information.
Yeah. So on to
because the thing is, between these, I don't really know very much about Uchikoshi because I haven't played any of the Zero Escape games, even though they're all on Vita now.
Yeah,
and I have a PS TV which is compatible with them. So I really have no idea how Project 3 is going to turn out.
Yeah,
or Project 1 for that matter.
Yeah. They're Uchikoshi and Kodaka, good friends, colleagues, whatnot. I like Uchikoshi. I feel like he has a habit to go a little crazy, but it's always interesting. So like, he's a good writer. He's got great ideas and stuff. So
I figure people love the Zero Escape game, so I figure they have.
Well, people like the first two, but yeah, and I like some of his other work, like Punchline and whatnot. I kind of like Punchline's okay. I haven't played the game. I only watched the anime, which is so weird that the game came out the anime was like 3 years ago or something. Crazy.
Something.
Yeah. Such a delayed. It's like the opposite of what's happening with Conception now, where like 5 years after the game series ends, they're getting an anime. It's like, what the fuck? What is happening here?
Who's footing this one? Where's the?
It's so random.
Where's the advertisement?
Yeah. So, there were more statements from the interview made. Specifically, someone asked Kodaka what will happen to the Danganronpa series, and Kodaka responded, "If these new challenges all succeed, I may come back. I don't know if I will actually be able to make another Danganronpa game, but that is my mindset approaching this. Conversely, I don't want to fall back on Danganronpa as a sure way of making money if the new venture fails. I want to succeed and prove myself before coming back." To which current CEO of Spike Chunsoft, Takahiro Sakurai, said, "Of course, Danganronpa is a Spike Chunsoft title, but it is also a Kodaka and Kamatazaki title. It's not Danganronpa without those members."
I do like that.
Both very interesting.
I do like that Sakurai specifies that Danganronpa is Kodaka and Kamatsuzaki's baby here.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gives you a little bit of, makes you feel like they really understand that it was a very it's a series that could only really be done by those two.
Yeah.
And they understand that
Yeah, that's true. Like,
and I mentioned this before, but I agree with Kodaka. He says that something along the lines of, it's like he doesn't want to fall back on Danganronpa just to be successful, and he wants to kind of branch out from there. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
I want to see what he can do outside of Danganronpa. As much as I love it, I don't want to feel like he's being obligated to make Danganronpa just to make money.
Right. Yeah, and it was very interesting seeing reactions to this, because like there are a lot of people like that, and there are a lot of people who are like, I want this new venture to fail and crash and burn, so he goes back to making what I want.
Oh my god, that is kind of that's kind of sociopathic shit.
Some people are like really calculating about it. They're like, no, I want it to fail in just the right way. I want these things to be very critically successful, but not do commercially well. That way he'll feel good about what he did, but still need to go back to Danganronpa to make money.
What the fuck? What the hell?
And people say that Kodaka didn't have a point. Yeah, but yeah. So
when you get
I mean, like,
down to it,
that's always been his mo as of late, though. Like, he's never given a hard no to that question. It's always been like, if the circumstances are right, and if I have more ideas for it, I'd like to, but like at the moment, I'm done. That's always been his thing. So this is nothing new. What's new to me is Sakura's comment, because it very strongly implies they're not going to touch this franchise without Kodaka and Kamatsuzaki, which I think is the wisest move they could make.
Yeah.
And I really respect Spike Chunsoft for taking that stance, because there are so many other companies that would just charge ahead without them.
It's an extremely creator-driven franchise. So
yeah, I think they know that, you know, especially Kamatsuzaki, because I don't think you can change the look of Danganronpa and get away with it. I don't think that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Danganronpa has a very specific look to it that just defines it, and you can't really change that without changing the identity of Danganronpa as a whole.
Yeah, they gotta be pretty creative with these new projects, though, because I feel like, you know, there's lots of comparisons to be made, and to an extent they're kind of inviting that upon themselves by making a team out of these people. When you see a collaboration between these people, like, certain expectations are there. So like, I feel like if they are to be successful with this 2KO Games venture, like, at least most of these projects have to hit it out of the park. No pressure. But as for how I feel about it, I think this is a good collection of talent. Some of them are a little backgroundy. Like, I mean, Ultra Despair Hagakure was fine. I don't really know what else Yoichiro Koizumi has really written. I'm kind of glad it's him and not like the novel authors like not Kitagawa. I forget his name now. Him and Yuya Sato, because those guys are a little weird. And I'm not too familiar with Takumi Nakazawa's work, but I know he is capable. So like, I don't know. It's a good collection of talent. This is kind of what I and some others were predicting was going to happen for a while, but like, just the fact that it just came out like, oh, here we are, and here's a bunch of new projects right out of the gate was still kind of a surprise, even though I think we all kind of figured Uchikoshi and Kodaka were gonna get bound at the hip at some point.
You said Yuya Sato, and I'm like, yes, the person who is one of his most well-known works is his short story collection entitled "Children Shout Shit Shit Shit."
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that guy is not on this team. I don't know. I'm a little worried, announcing so many projects right out of the gate, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe they're stretching themselves a bit thin. I don't know what their resources are like. I don't know where their funding and backing is coming from.
Or even what the scheduling for all these are. Like, we don't know when any of these are coming out yet.
Yeah, I know. This could very easily turn into vaporware. I think the worst thing they could do is like immediately be like, "Hey, we have a Patreon now," or some bullshit like that.
Oh,
I think that's kind of the worst direction they could go, because I just don't think, as much as I love these guys, I don't think they have the clout to do that.
Yeah, I don't think crowdfunding is going to work here.
Yeah, and to be fair, if that was the angle, I think they would have said that. I think they would have said that, and I don't think they would have announced so many projects at once. I feel like these are definitely like in the works,
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know where the money's coming from, but it's probably just typical business capital investment venture upstart stuff. So yeah.
I'm interested in seeing where all these go. I like Kodaka, so there's that. Hopefully these ventures work out well, and 2KO Games can actually succeed in their own right without having to be specifically bound to the Zero Escape and Danganronpa franchises.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the questions some people have are like, because one thing that's caught people's attention is the fact that the 2KO Games website has an English section, so people are speculating localization talks may already be in the works. I'm going to assume it's not going to be an ISA anymore. I'm assuming it's going to be Spike Chunsoft's new English-speaking branch.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
As well, because as fine as NISA did with the Danganronpa titles in general, it's probably going to go to Spike Chunsoft's English branch just because they have it established now and they might as well make the most of it.
I kind of feel bad for NISA because this keeps fucking happening. All their licenses eventually just kind of go. They get known for these properties, and then like the original holders are like, okay, we're gonna establish our own American branch now, so we don't need you anymore. And it happens every fucking time. It happened with Idea Factory International. It happened with Koei Tecmo and Gust and whatnot. It's happening again with Spike Chunsoft.
Though there seems to be
like, what do they have left?
There's kind of a reverse happening now, though, because the people who like Nihon Falcom originally went to Exceed Games for most of the East games, but they went to NISA for East 8.
Yeah, that went great, I hear.
I wish. That is a disaster in progress.
It's still happening. It's
that game can't catch a break. It really can't, which sucks because it's amazing. But, fuck. But yeah, E8 is it's a disaster still in progress.
Yeah. Likely going to be localized by Spike Chunsoft's English branch. Their first titles are coming out soon. Steins Gate Elite and whatnot. Which, I mean, Steins Gate Elite sucks, but like, please buy it if you can, because I'm sure they would like the money.
And NISA is also working with Enterbrain on some RPG Maker titles. They already released RPG Maker Fest on 3DS, and they're also going to be doing the console versions of RPG Maker MV. Yeah. Which MV interests me because how the hell are they going to do that? Because MV is based on JavaScript.
Interesting.
Like, prior to that, the PC RPG Maker games from, I believe, 2003 to VX Ace, which is like 4 RPG Maker titles. Like, keep calling them games, but they're more creator software. Like, from 2003 to VX Ace, they used the programming language Ruby. Which is a perfectly fine programming language, but JavaScript is just a lot more flexible. But the thing is, the console RPG Maker games have been a lot more straightforward, mostly utilizing preset graphics, preset event settings. Like, there isn't actually any coding going on in the console versions, so I have no idea what they're going to do for MV. Yeah. Fingers crossed that it doesn't, it's not a disaster.
Yeah. In the case of the anime project, I hope it avoids the Danganronpa curse and Funimation doesn't get it.
Oh God. Please.
I can't think of a reason why these things would be related, but in my mind, I'm just like, oh, some Genfur or whatever the fuck is gonna,
Gen Fukunaga, yeah,
Gen Fukunaga is just like itching at the groin, being like, I want to ruin other people's days.
Here's the thing, like, the actors on Danganronpa, like the English dubs, are clearly having a lot of fun, but
I don't want them to have fun. I want them to do a good job.
It's clear that the people who are writing and directing don't take the material as seriously as it merits, which is my problem with the DR1 and DR3 anime dubs, because it, even during like really dark and serious moments, they keep cracking jokes, like just Chiaki yelling, "This game is stupid."
Yeah.
For execution.
Yeah, just it's not good. So hopefully they avoid that. Have Lock comments. Have fun with the outtakes. Just don't make them canon.
I actually did see the
Yeah.
the scene that God, what's his name? Because actor Bryce Papenbrook was talking about, like, the blooper he put in that he thought they removed, but they actually didn't catch.
Yeah.
Where he was, shaking Nagito's hand, and Nagito gets dragged away. It's like, oh, he touched my hand, and then you just hear Makoto mutter, "Why was it sticky?"
Yeah. Not again. Don't ruin this one too.
I've said this before.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal for Kodaka.
That's
new projects. Let's not ruin his chances out of the gate with some shit simuled up, okay?
Again, that's really my problem with the Danganronpa anime dubs, is that when the sound editors can't tell the difference between the actual takes and the outtakes, you have a problem.
Yep.
You have a real problem on your hands.
Funimation has a lot of problems on their hands.
That's for a completely different podcast, my good sir.
Yep. So anyway, very excited for all that stuff. More updates as we receive them. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about what we've been doing.
All right, then.
We're gonna enter the bullshit portion of the podcast. Woo-hoo! So if you were just here for the news, you can just tone out now.
Bye.
Bye, bitch. We'll we don't need you. If you're not here for our bullshit, then we're not here for yours. Anyway. All right. We'll be right back. Pausing Spotify. Right back. Ladies' bathroom. You want to say that because I'm not around. Oh, he's a gone. He is a gone man.
I'm back.
Hello.
Just went to the bathroom real quick.
I've got like one of those 24/7 progressive house relaxation beats to study by channels going. And like there's a constant chat room in them, and they're having like a very serious analytical discussion about artificial intelligence set to just this nice progressive house music. Interesting. I'll turn it down a little bit.
I am quite ready to start whenever you are.
Okay. I was trying to get the levels right. My Spotify was a little quiet for some reason, so I switched to a different music source. Ooh. All right. All right. And we're back. Welcome back to the Baka Gaijin show. This is the bullshit part. We're just going to relax and tell you what we've been up to and stuff. Kevin.
Yes.
Go first.
Okay. All right. So, as of late, let's see. What have I been doing in the past couple of months? Fuck. I watched all of DuckTales in about 1.5 days.
That's true. It was impressive. I've never seen him do so much in such a short time span.
Like, I just blew through 17 episodes in a day, and I'm like, fuck me.
Yep.
He was legitimately impressed. Like, holy shit, dude.
Whoa.
Like, that show is just perfect lazy day viewing for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the perfect show to lean back and just marathon in one long go, because it is serialized to a degree. It does have a very a relatively tight continuity.
Yeah.
But it's episodic enough to where I can take most episodes on their own and just kind of enjoy them as one-off adventures. But there's also a story plot line going through the entire season.
Yeah. There's kind of like three different plot lines going through the season.
Yeah.
There's the Della mystery. There's everything
Della,
about Lena, and there's everything about Lena, and then there's Gizmo Duck.
Yeah. Gizmo Duck being the, I guess, B plot.
I guess. It's kind of the focus of, 3.5 episodes, something like that.
Yeah. Whereas Lena and Della Duck get pretty much equal billing. No pun intended.
I see what you did there.
No pun intended.
You're on your way to writing for DuckTales yet.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah, and as we were talking about this, and spoilers for DuckTales, by the way. We're just gonna talk, however.
Thorough spoilers for DuckTales 2017 season 1 from here on out.
Yeah, just so you know. We were talking earlier that even though the Della mystery is the ostensible main plot of the season, I feel like the Lena stuff really overshadowed it.
I mean, it's just a more immediate concern because Della is more trying to find out what happened to a posthumous character, whereas the Lena mystery is something that is happening to someone we know currently who is struggling with it as we are watching the show.
Yeah.
And I think that just gives it more dramatic weight and immediate concern for the viewer.
True.
The Della Duck mystery is great and everything. It's an important plot thread for the boys.
Yeah.
Mostly Dewey, because he's the one.
90% Dewey.
Mostly Dewey, and with Webby being being kind of his partner in crime in this case.
Yeah.
But in general, it's a less involved storyline than what Lena's going through with her Aunt Magica Dispel.
Yeah.
Still there? Zeke, you there? Oh, no.
Oh, hello? Oh, yep, you cut out.
Oh, okay. Whew, there you are.
It just took 5 minutes to say Lena.
No,
I
Lena
know,
and
no, yeah.
Magica.
I think it's kind of the more impressive one, honestly, because like at the very beginning of the season, especially when they put like some episodes out of order, as you know, I was very like apprehensive about Lena because like, oh good, someone's OC, it's the new Wendy or whatever, and then like by the end it's like, man, I really like Lena.
Lena's a really good character. She
Yeah.
This sounds weird to say about a duck, but she feels very human.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, because there's something about it that had like a little bit more weight to it, because I feel like a lot of the other stuff is like very Disney fare, like good Disney fare, but like very Disney fare. Like Lena's plot line reminded me a lot of like the sort of like subversive Gravity Falls touch that I figured the show was going to have at some point.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark plot line, really.
Yeah.
With a lot of like horror elements thrown in there.
Yeah. Yes.
I know horror elements in my DuckTales. It's more likely than you'd think.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I really like the reinterpretation of basically all the classic characters as well. I love the new triplets. I can't see them the old way again.
Yeah, I adore what they've done with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I can actually tell them apart now.
Impressive. I'm glad you can, because sometimes the animation team still fucks that up.
But yeah, I can actually tell them apart now, and it's very defined what each of their personalities is.
Yeah.
Interestingly, each one is kind of like each of their personalities is kind of based on how old they are.
Yeah.
Compared to each other. Like there is a birth order: Huey, Dewey, and then Louie.
Yeah.
With Louie definitely being the more laid back type, who's more likely to get away with shit.
Yeah. Dewey being having a severe case of middle child's I want to be special syndrome.
There was a really good moment. Like,
yeah,
I
know what you mean. The moment where he's like, I was trying to protect you, and Huey's like, no, you just wanted to feel special. Typical Dewey.
But my main thing is when Huey and Louie find out that Dewey's been looking for the truth to what happened to their mom the entire season, and Louie, who is very blasé about a lot of things, takes it really personally, and he's just, you kept a secret about mom. That is not okay. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's a really small moment, but that really stood out to me because of how different it was for Louie's character, and it showed that each of these kids has noticeable character depth. Like, they're not just base archetypes. They have legitimate character arcs and, standards that they uphold themselves to.
Yeah. And I really, I mean, this trend in cartoons of like comedians turned voice actors has been a long thing, but I really like these guys because I feel like, on top of having great comedic delivery, they're also good actors. And
Ben Schwartz is my boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we love Ben Schwartz now. Who is this guy? He just came out of nowhere and he's like, I'm taking up all your iconic blue characters, and I'm gonna be I'm gonna be like the most charismatic, funny guy ever. Where did this guy come from?
He's Dewey Duck. He's freaking Leonardo. He's goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. He's even like when you watch the GMM, he was
Hello, we cut out again.
he was promoting a film he's in called like Blue what was it
Blue Iguana.
called? Blue Diamond.
Blue Iguana. We're cutting out so much. It's not my fault.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you back?
Yeah.
The music's back. Rihanna's not going to kill me.
Blue Iguana.
Blue Iguana. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. I knew it.
Just the entire time you're cutting out, I'm saying Blue Iguana. Blue Iguana. Blue Iguana.
I can only assume based on the scrapped Pixar movie Newt. That's still an interesting situation that happened with Newt because it's like they just stopped making it because like this is too similar to that Rio movie that just came out. Never mind, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I don't necessarily blame them for that one because like you compare the two and it's literally the same story.
also Alpha and Omega that came out around that time as well, and then got 4 sequels somehow. Why are there 4 or 5 Alpha and Omega movies?
I don't know. Why are there like fucking 5 Swan Princess movies?
I don't know. Why is K getting a 4th, 5th, and 6th movie in like the remainder of this year?
These are the true questions that we will never get answers.
I don't know.
Someone buys them.
It's true. I'm wondering with the K stuff. I'm wondering if that's like not that like very loose Japanese definition of a film, and then actually like 40-minute specials. I'm wondering if that might be the case. I don't know.
Maybe,
possibly.
Anyway, but yeah, if you watch the Good Mythical Morning episode with Ben Schwartz, oh my god, he fits in with Rhett and Link so perfectly. It's like,
eat your heart out, Jimmy Fallon. You were always my least favorite late night host.
He literally just feels like a third host.
Yeah.
Which is ideally what you want for your guest hosts, but I've never seen it done quite as well with Ben Schwartz just grafting in with Rhett and Link so easily.
Yeah, it's really nice. That's true. I just got off on that tangent in my mind. I'm just thinking, like, man, every late night host is better than Jimmy Fallon. Colbert's better than Fallon. John Oliver's better than Fallon. Fucking
the thing is with
better than Fallon.
The thing is with Jimmy Fallon, even when he's being sincere, it feels like he's faking it.
I know that's the worst. Everything feels so forced from him. He doesn't feel like an actual funny person. He feels like someone they took off the street and said, "You're a funny person now." Yeah, like
it's that guy in your middle school class.
Yeah.
It's that guy in your middle school class who thinks he's the class clown, but really he's just an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know the one. You know the one.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I get a little bit of that from Conan, but not nearly as much as Fallon.
Okay, Conan actually has some.
Whereas the guys like John Oliver and Stephen Colbert are like actually really funny.
Stephen Colbert's like the king of late night, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought that too until I saw some John Oliver skits. I'm like, they're kind of neck and neck for me. I think
it's just because Stephen Colbert has the most experience.
That's true. That's also true.
He's been in the game for a really, really long time.
That's a hard job, by the way, being funny every night. You know?
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that Stephen Colbert had like 2 shows at the same time.
Yeah. Remember that time he ran for president for both parties as a joke?
I don't actually.
Yeah, I love that. That was like, because just the forms alone, that was like a $35,000 joke.
That's great. See, when I laugh, it's genuine. When Jimmy Fallon laughs, it's like, okay.
When Jimmy Fallon laughs, it's because the cue card told him it was time to awkwardly chuckle now.
But yeah, fuck. DuckTales is such a great show.
Yeah.
It's got its ups and downs, but in general, there is a really strong baseline of quality throughout the entire show.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Pinned on our Anything Goes channel is the list of episodes right there. I'm just looking through them. Some of my favorites are probably every Lena episode, honestly.
Every single Lena episode.
Aside from maybe like Beagle Birthday Massacre, which is just okay. But like all the other ones are really good. Anything with a lot of Mark Beeks, I really like. I really like Mark Beeks a lot.
Yeah, he's oh god, that is actually a really good way for them to kind of dip into what the current day 1%ers are like.
Yeah, I really like that modernization because like you got Glomgold, who's always been like the token billionaire rival of Scrooge's, and that's
something I like that they did with Something I like that they did with Glomgold is they completely redesigned him so that he's no longer just Scrooge with a kilt.
Yeah, I know he's got a distinct design, but like also having different kinds of douchey billionaires. Like Mark Beeks is this Zuckerberg-esque motherfucker, this Elon Musk motherfucker, which I think is a lot more appreciable today because that archetype didn't really exist in the 80s.
Yeah,
and then other episodes were. The last like 4 or 5 episodes are like the best ones, honestly.
I really enjoyed the confidential case files of Agent 22.
Yeah.
Just because you wouldn't expect a Beakley based episode to be that interesting. But they do a lot with it.
I don't know if it's really Beakley, but it's got a lot of Beakley in it. I'm not sure if it's really like a Beakley episode though.
Yeah, it's more focused. Yeah, it's more focused on Scrooge and Webby getting kind of forming a better relationship between the two of them.
Let's talk about Webby for a second because I feel like they did such a good job. Yes, she's like a completely different character now, but she's such a better character now. Yeah. I love everything they've done with her, and I love this unofficial fourth triplet status she has.
I kind of feel bad for Webby because before the show actually came out, a lot of people were comparing her to like Mabel Pines and Star Butterfly from Gravity Falls and Starbursts. But the thing is, she is actually her own character, and she's better written than either of those characters.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I was getting at. Where I'm like, this comparison is progressively more unfair because not only are they all their own characters, but like
it's unfair, but not for the reasons you think.
Yeah, exactly. Webby is so much more consistently written than any of them, and there's so many like very logical reasons for why she starts the way she does and why she grows the way she does, and I think
here's the thing. Mabel's consistently written too. It's that she's consistently written to never change.
Yeah. And then like Star's better, but like Star's problem is that she's so stubborn. And like that's a great character flaw to a point, but like I don't know. I feel like at some point Starverse got a little carried away with this. Okay, it's not Star's fault. It's not Star's problem. The problem is that like everyone who tries to help her is so fucking obtuse, and they always want her to realize it herself. That like it becomes a little bit frustrating to watch because you have a very stubborn character, and then a bunch of characters that try to help her, but they will not be straight with her.
No, so like that's kind of Glossoric's job, but
yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Glossoric is a hilarious character, but
dude, yeah,
I love Glossoric, but like it's that combination sometimes gets a little frustrating. So it's not badly written or anything, but it can be a little tedious to watch. Whereas Webby is never tedious to watch.
About the only change with this show that I'm not 100% on board with is their version of Don Carnage, simply because the original Tailspin version of Don Carnage is just so iconic to me.
Yeah,
it's really hard for me to separate the two of them.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar myself, so
I used to have.
I know a lot of people were disappointed Jim Cummings isn't voicing him because this crew has this kind of mentality where like they want different ethnicities kind of, or implied ethnicities played by people of those ethnicities, which is noble and all, but I feel like in this case maybe it kind of rubbed people the wrong way just because Jim Cummings' version was so great to them.
Yeah, I used to have a VHS tape with a couple of Don Carnage episodes on it, and he is just an insanely fun character in the original Tailspin. And it's really disappointing that he's just, frankly, he's just not as good in the new DuckTales.
Yeah.
Because the character is like 90% voice.
Yeah.
What a lousy place for a walk.
Yeah, the new guy, he's fine. I mean, like, I don't know. He kind of
good job, but
he kind of sounds like he doesn't know English very well. But I mean,
well, to be fair, that was kind of the point with Don Carnage to start with.
I didn't know that, so you know. Yeah. And then what was I gonna? I love their reinterpretation of Doofus Drake, though. I know a lot of people don't. I love it so much.
We've only had one episode of Doofus Drake so far, but I want more Doofus Drake.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. He's such a fucking psychotic, spoiled. Fuck, I love this guy.
Psychotic, spoiled rich kid who's like really weirdly. Oh my god. How do you even describe him?
Just the weird things he does. Like he reaches into his pants and pulls out a bracelet like friend present. And then they walk out of the photo booth and he's just sniffing Louie's hair for no reason. It's like just the things he says. I let you eat wall cotton, you impudent brat. Everything he does is just so weird. It's just like, what is he gonna do with the umbrella and walnuts?
That's what I said. We don't know what he does, what he was planning to do with this. He just brings out an umbrella and walnuts because he says he's going to punish Louie. And it's like, what are you doing?
I don't think I like you anymore, friend present. I fucking love this kid. But okay, so I love this so much because like people are like, "Oh, it's like this is like a disrespectful interpretation of them." I'm like, they turned a one-note fat joke friend into like this really bizarre, like fucking. I don't even know how to describe Doofus Drake in this version, but he's just so great.
One of the most amazing reinterpretations in the new DuckTales by far.
Yeah.
Hold on. What, Jim?
Yeah.
No, we're literally in the middle of it. No, it's not. It's 7 p.m. 7 or 8 p.m.
Now it says 3.
Okay, good. Back to my podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, we only got like a third of an episode of him, and with season 2 going to focus more on Louie. I really hope he shows up more as a foil to Louie. That'd be so great.
Yeah, he's he kind of is a foil. Like Louie is like really attached to the idea of being in a rich guy's house.
Yeah.
So it's interesting having this character whom he was intending to kind of buddy up with so that he could be friends with a rich kid, being absolutely fucking psychotic.
I just wanted to use a rich kid's hyper pool. Why can't I have these things?
And again, it just showcases how great the triplets are now, how great the boys are now, because each of them is just so unique now and so likable, each in their own individual ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I really like you could argue this B plot was a little too lighthearted for a dark episode like Other Bin, but like the whole Louie with the fucking Bigfoot was just amazing. I love that.
Yeah. I win. I wasn't a terribly big fan of the Bigfoot of the Bigfoot plot line, though it was funny that the Bigfoot was voiced by Sam Riegel.
Yeah, and I like how they have the big feet have the same designs as they did in a Goofy movie. That's great.
That is great. Yeah, I win. It's just that is a great reaction. waiting to happen there.
Oh, Louis got the best like gifs and reaction images of just eye rolls and angry faces. It's great.
Lying. It's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
From episode 1.
Yep.
Literally.
I like the I was gonna say, yeah, more Doofus Drake, maybe a little bit less Glomgold. I feel like Glomgold's a little played out, but
yeah, we've kind of gotten everything out of Glomgold we can get.
He's probably not going anywhere, but like I don't know.
He's the counterpart to Scrooge McDuck, so
yeah,
of course not. But in general, I think it would be better suited to give more substantial development and screen time to some of the more interesting antagonists. There is a spot for you to actually get up there, Cat.
Yeah. Really like I know some people don't like that he's not as big a focus now, but I do like this version of Scrooge a lot.
Oh, absolutely. He's a little different from his previous interpretations, being more of an adventure junkie than like this greedy
Miser.
Individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's good. That's a good way to interpret the character, because it makes him more of an active participant in events.
Yeah.
And makes his motivations a lot less greed driven, and it conversely makes him more relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, like early on, that's what a lot of people were saying, was that like we feel like they toned down his greed just because that might not be quite as enjoyable a character trait in current year as it was in 1987.
It's like, haha, he loves money, and nowadays it'd be like,
look at all this money he has that you don't.
It's like,
rub that in your face. Yeah.
But we actually see the problems he has with actually being so fucking rich.
Yeah.
He has to deal with executives. No one likes
fucking
executives.
Vultures.
Fantastic. And of course, David Tennant is unbelievably good as the character.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I do not think you could have gotten a better person to succeed Alan Young than David Tennant.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
And of course, David Tennant's best work in the show comes in The Last Crash of the Sun Chaser, which Frank Angonis says the entire rant Scrooge goes on, as well as the aftermath, like to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
David Tennant apparently did everything in a single take, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
The last line of that episode has so much emotion for just 2 words.
Yeah. 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 Only good things from here, I hope. The only thing I think I told you this before. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of this season is that everything's an introduction. Every episode feels like an introductory episode to someone or something, because they've got so much stuff from the original show and so much stuff from the comics and whatnot, and stuff from other shows they want to like introduce and stuff, that like every episode feels like introducing, just like an introduction to something. And I feel like the best episodes were the ones that just kind of worked with what they had and developed that. So I hope there's more of that going forward. I hope that I know there's new stuff coming in season 2, like the other caballeros and
the 3 caballeros are coming back. Yay!
Yeah, and other stuff like that. But I hope for the most part we're kind of done with introductions and we can just kind of develop the setting and what we have here.
Yeah, I hope so too, because what we've had introduced in season 1 is honestly enough to carry for like another season and a half. So
yeah,
there's just so much you can actually build on from here. Like you can build on Fenton Crackshell a lot more.
Yeah. I'm assuming like, because usually Disney shows cap out at 4 seasons, so I'm assuming like every season is going to have kind of a focal character like this one had with Dewey.
Yeah.
Um, you know, for Huey, for Louis, and then either like Scrooge or Webby or whoever, you know.
Yeah.
So that's probably a pretty good length, I'd say. If it goes for 4 seasons, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And luckily season 2 is coming. So I plan on actually keeping up with this show at this point.
Yeah.
Because it was a bitch to wait for all the episodes to come out, and then
Yeah. Still not on Hulu. Still not on Hulu, I think.
No, it's not. Now don't get me wrong. I loved marathoning the whole show in like one long go.
Yeah.
Like I watched most of that in a single sitting.
Yeah.
Like just staying in one spot all day and just watching DuckTales.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to spend a Sunday night. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday. But it was it's a great show, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the crew has for future episodes.
Yeah, we won't have to wait long. Later this year, they said.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, not sure. They also said no more like huge hiatuses as well. So that's
good. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please do not do the Gravity Falls thing.
Yeah. A lot of that.
God forbid the Steven Universe thing.
Yeah, a lot of that gap after episode 9 was apparently due to like moving to the main channel and needing like new branding and merchandising to come out and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the series began as a Disney XD show, but it became such a huge success, and DuckTales is such an important brand for Disney that it got moved over to the main channel.
Yeah, the relationship between Disney and Disney XD is always weird. It's always like so interesting and weird to me because I feel like a lot of people have this conception that like they're like equals, but they're really not. XD does not get anywhere near the ratings that the main Disney Channel does.
Yeah.
Even though like you'd think that it would be branded as having like the best content, which it often does, but like for some reason it just
Disney XD in general is geared like it's geared more towards older audiences compared to Disney Channel.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't impact the maturity level of this show though, because I think it's at a good level. So
yeah, it's not
quite Gravity Falls, but it's at a good level.
I wouldn't call it a dark show, but I also wouldn't call it like completely lighthearted, fun, and goofy. Like it's struck a great balance so far.
Yeah, and I think some of that is like I don't think they can go quite as dark as Gravity Falls one, just because these are like iconic characters, So there's some limitations there.
Like we can't have a plot line where Donald Duck dies. We can't do that.
Yeah. So just because of that, I feel like there's some limitations in place, but they've got a really nice like postmodern sort of like touch to the show, which I really appreciate.
I do hope they do more.
The show is so postmodern, by the way. The show is like very like the writing is so like we know how children's TV works, which is so great.
Yeah. I hope we get more Donald Duck focus in the future, but with the Caballeros coming, I assume we will.
Yeah. Everyone was a little bit upset about that, but there are reasons why Donald couldn't be as involved as people wanted in this season.
I think the main thing is that he was just fixing the houseboat.
Yeah. That's a full-time job.
I mean, it's one guy fixing like a boat, so
yeah.
Aside from that, we just went off on a tangent there.
That's okay. I mean, we talked for Gravity Falls for 5 hours. We can talk for DuckTales for at least one.
It's a good show. Check it out.
Right. And then like, do you want to say something that you've been doing?
Yeah. Aside from that, I've been my plan for the next couple of weeks is to rewatch all of Angelic Lair because I own the DVD and I haven't seen that show in like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a really good tournament series. Like if you really enjoy tournament arcs, I suggest checking this one out. It's based on a manga by Clamp, but
Yeah.
the screenplay for the anime was adapted by Ichiro Okochi, who is the writer for Code Geass,
Mm.
and he has expanded the manga so much and in so many ways that, honest to God, the anime is way better.
Yeah.
Uh, I really suggest checking Angelic Layer out if you like a good tournament series or just a good tournament story, like an underdog story.
Yeah.
Um, it's really enjoyable. After that, I'm going to try and watch Yu Yu Hakusho again. I stalled right before Genkai gets introduced.
Right.
So, like 5, 6 episodes in.
Yeah.
And after that is just wait until the fall season starts, after which I'm going to watch, like, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 shows.
Oh, the fall season. There's so much stuff in the fall season.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna bring up any chart real quick.
Same, because there is some good stuff. There is definitely some good stuff.
Yeah. Starting off with the 3rd season of Sword Art Online, the Alicization arc, confirmed to be a full 4 cours. Whether that's split or not, we don't know. But that is a lot of cinema quality animation coming our way.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about that is that
we're gonna have to deal with Mother's Basement for the next year.
We're going to have to. Yeah, it's going to be the big.
Yeah.
It's going to be the big punching bag for an entire year.
It's okay. It's okay. That animation is so worth it for a little bit of bitching.
I'm so done with SAO haters at this point. I don't even like SAO, and I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like SAO. Okay, and I'm done.
Yeah.
That's how you know we're in a that we're in a bad spot. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Anyway, Tokyo Ghoul Re 2nd season.
Which is insane. They're adapting 100 chapters in 12 episodes because Pierrot gonna Pierrot. I cannot think of a more habitually mistreated franchise in anime form than Tokyo Ghoul. It's so sad.
Oh my goodness.
The manga is so good, but I don't know what they're doing.
I feel so bad for all the fans who are begging people. It's like, please read the manga, please. Yeah. It's so much better, and everyone's like, I watched the anime, I'm fine. It's like, no, you don't understand.
What are the things Pierrot does to the show? I don't understand.
I'm frankly impressed. Index is getting a 3rd season.
Yeah, I mean that was a surprise for
people. No one thought that would happen. No one.
Here it is.
And then suddenly JC staff is like, guess what, bitches?
You thought.
You want Index, bitch? We got no Index.
Also at the top of the page is the final season of Fairy Tail.
Yes, because oh my God. And we're collaborating with yet another A1 is collaborating with yet another studio for this one. Let me look up what the collaboration for all the previous seasons were, because you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me look up the collaborations for all the previous seasons. Okay, so for episodes 1 through 175, they collaborated with Satellite. For episodes, okay, yeah, it's just 2 studios, I guess, because from episode 176 and onward, it's Bridge.
Yeah.
What, was there a falling out, or was Satellite too busy?
Maybe.
But yeah, the only reason this is happening is because the manga ended a few months ago, and they don't want to leave the anime only fans hanging. So
yeah, I might go through it all at some point. I don't know.
You're going to be watching a shitload of Fairy Tail.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Aside from that,
there's this Goblin Slayer thing that might be good. I don't know.
A Goblin Slayer might be pretty fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Next to that, we have JoJo's Part 5, which in the time between the last episode and this one, I've been watching a lot of JoJo's. We can talk about that later. But
yeah. How far into Part 4 are you now?
Episode 27, 28, I forget.
Okay. Yeah. Conception, yeah, that's getting an anime. Can't believe that. Wow.
Finally, all those Conception fans just begging were finally answered.
Gridman looks really good.
JoJo Part 5, everything else is invalid. I don't know. I mean, you know. I am really looking forward to Golden Wind, though. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's like, this is the part where JoJo starts getting really fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm so torn because I don't want to sit through the censorship, but I don't have a choice, and I'm not going to wait for it, so, you know.
Yeah.
I guess they're just giving me a reason to watch it twice when the Blu-rays come out.
Let me put it this way. As far as I know about Part 5, this is the part where one character can say, I'm going to put him in the turtle and mean it completely seriously.
Yeah. Next to Gridman, there is Irozuku Sekai no Ashitakara, a new big slice of life series from PA Works and the director of Nagino Asukara. So I'm looking forward to that. Those are kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you get a Nagino Asukara or a Hanasaku Aroha, and sometimes you get Glasslip, which is best left forgotten to the abyss of time.
Oh my god! I remember when I actually found a random post you made about Glasslip on Twitter, and you're like, "Thank you for reminding me of that absolute disaster."
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, girl with cock in her room.
Yeah.
It was a rooster, people.
Ace Attorney's getting a second season. I assume that's going to adapt the third and fourth games.
Yeah.
So randomly in the middle of the season, we're going to switch over to Apollo Justice. Enjoy that.
Yeah. And then everyone's favorite anime of the year, fucking Ingress the anime.
Why is Ingress getting an anime? Who the hell?
I don't know. I'm gonna laugh my balls off if it's good though.
Oh my god! If it does end up being like a decent show, that is going to be ridiculous.
I don't get it. Then there's
PA Works is doing a new drama series, Iruzuku Sekai no Ashtakara.
I just put that out, yeah. Zombieland Saga, which by the PV looks like it's gonna be like really well animated, but not take itself seriously whatsoever. Which I'm kind of in the mood for that. I'm kind of in the mood for something like humorously grimdark.
You know what? I'm totally up for that. A lot of there are a few of my friends who are really interested in Release the Spice.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes.
That's by Ledouce. Studio Ledouce. Badouce. Sway and Badouce. And then good continuing things like Attack on Titan Season 3, which is blowing my mind right now because like it's so fucking good. I don't just mean the animation, like the actual like plotting. They've like improved upon this arc in the manga that people had mixed feelings about.
Oh, really? Now?
Yeah, they've really fixed it up, and like the next arcs I hear are just fucking balls to the walls insanity. So like
just crazy shit. Oh my god, yeah. I might have to catch up.
Yeah, I really think Attack on Titan got so much better after season 1. Season 2 like really leans in. Season 2 has less Eren, which is for the time being good, but it really until it develops later in season 3. But like season 2 really leans more into the horror elements and introduces some pretty unique Titans and whatnot. So I really enjoyed that. And this one is more of a political thriller angle. It's really interesting and morally gray and very violent, and I really like it.
Goodness, it's like Attack on Titan becomes a new show every season.
I know. It kind of feels like that. I mean, like it all blends together, but like, you know, every arc I guess has that kind of distinct feeling to it. But
sort of Hunter-esque in that. Sort of Hunter-esque in that.
I mean, not so wildly divergent as Hunter, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Senran Kagura. This is just for me, but Senran Kagura is getting a new anime, and I'm hoping it doesn't blow ass.
Spoilers, I'm in season 3. Me.
What?
I'm in Attack on Titan season 3. You didn't know that? According to Locke, I am now in that. No one told me that, but you know.
Apparently. Aside from
I love it. Okay, so there's another fucking Monogatari movie. It says third season of the third series, part 3 of 3.
3.
Man, Gabe Newell's having a heart attack with all these 3s. Oh, did you see that Gabe Newell did an announcer pack for Dota 2? And like in the trailer for it, they actually acknowledged that. We're like, Gabe, we just want you to say 3 kills, 3, and he's just so confused. He just leans in the mic. He's like, "You've killed more than 2, but less than 4 heroes." I love it so much.
I love it. Oh, that's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Also coming this December, I think, is the fucking Super Broly movie.
Oh my god, and we're not going to get until January, but that's like a month difference. Wow.
Getting in theaters January?
Yeah, theaters.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to try and go, but I don't know.
I'll try. If not, it's going to be a very painful wait for that Blu-ray.
Oh my god. I've heard so many cool things about that movie so far. Like everything about it looks really good.
Yeah.
Broly might not suck as bad anymore.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Broly. I like his concept, but his execution is sorely lacking.
Yeah. Speaking of Yu Yu Hakusho, by the way, there's that special coming out sometime this fall at some point.
Oh, hey, sweet! I can watch that too.
Yeah. Special included in the 25th anniversary Blu-ray box set. The special will cover the 2-shot bonus chapter from the manga's 7th volume, which tells the story of how Kurama and Hiei met, as well as the manga's penultimate chapter, which shows the main characters reuniting to solve a hostage crisis in the spirit world.
I've actually read that chapter. It's really anticlimactic.
Well, it is called All or Nothing after all. I guess they went on the nothing part of that.
Yeah. We're still getting Godzilla anime movies, which are going to go on Netflix like 1 month later.
I can't wait till those are done so Gen Urobuchi can do other things.
Apparently there's
kind of. Also, how do we wait? Is it this season or winter? They announced like the spin-off Madoka anime. I think that's winter.
I think that's winter too. That's going to be interesting.
That I've heard that it's adapting a plot of an alternate story from a game, but it's actually really good. So everyone tune into that if you want an actual sequel to Rebellion, I guess.
This is another one that's just for me, but Not a Hot Detonation, the movie, is going to come out in October.
Is there like an actual conclusion in Nanaha, or are they just going to keep doing stuff?
They're just going to keep doing stuff. This one is kind of weird because it takes place chronologically 6 months after the second season.
With this new Cinnamon Kagura season, didn't people not like the first season?
I personally didn't like it, mostly because I felt it was a poorly. There was not as. It's an adaptation of the first game, which has a relatively dark storyline.
Yeah.
Like the story takes itself relatively seriously in that game.
Yeah.
But up until the last 3 or 4 episodes, the anime does not take itself very seriously. And it doesn't really. It does not do the story justice, in my opinion.
All right.
I personally really like Senran Kagura, or at the very least, I like the story of the first 2 games, which is like the first 3DS game and the first Vita game.
Yeah.
My feelings on Estival Versus and Deep Crimson are mixed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Not a Hot Detonation is going to come out in October. I hope.
There's another fucking Inazuma 11, the soccer series that never dies.
I hope Detonation gets a US release, because I went through hell to watch the first to watch Reflection.
Yeah.
I even went so far as importing the Blu-ray for that one.
Yeah.
My dumb crazy ass. And you know what? Here's the thing. It cost me $80 and I don't regret a damn thing. That is absolutely frivolous money spending, but I don't care.
It's so frivolous. You're so frivolous, Kevin.
But
You as frivolous as Kevin Faulkner.
yeah, the fall season looks really, really solid. It's kind of like a repeat of the spring season, but spring was a little bit stronger than this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was really strong for me.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed that the fall season actually turns out well.
Yeah.
Because there are some shows here that I'm like, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that some of these shows like are as good as their concepts and PVs make them look.
Yeah.
For basically every other show, I'm like, some of you better surprise me.
Yeah.
So something like Anima Yell or fucking hold on, let me find another really generic looking one.
This episode's thumbnail.
Seishin Butayaro, a bunny girl senpai no Yume
Yeah.
Woman.
Yep. Mm-hmm, yep.
Better fucking impress me, you son of a bitch.
You better be the most subversive bunny girl anime ever made.
Oh goddamn, that one's by Cloverworks. Oh.
Ooh.
Well, it's
Stop doing things, Cloverworks.
Well, to be fair, Alicization is going to be A1 Pictures.
Well, no, I'm just worried about the last core of P5A.
Poor Persona 5. The problem with Persona 5 is that it's being sandwiched between two much higher profile anime projects.
Yeah.
Darling in the Franxx and Alicization.
How's your watch of Darling in the Franxx going, Kevin?
It's not.
It's not. I've noticed.
It's going to get watched. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Once I can actually watch it without getting fucking pissed off at hearing the name of it. Just because everyone was talking shit about it to the point where it's like, I don't want to hear about this anymore because nobody can fucking shut the hell up. Nobody can actually take 10 seconds and actually, not be a dumbass about this.
Yeah. Very.
I know it's a dumb reason not to watch a show, but
it is. You're dumb. Why you gotta be so dumb?
It's like a perverse version of hype aversion.
I guess so.
The fall season looks so damn good, but yeah, I'm planning on. I'm currently rewatching Angelic Layer. Probably going to finish that in the next 2 or 3 days, and after that, I'm going to try and watch Yu Yu Hakusho again. Just go through the entire series all in one go, and maybe not pull a DuckTales with it, but I'm going to try.
Pull a
DuckTales was a special situation.
Yeah.
That does not happen often.
Sure.
But and after that, gonna check out the fall season, which looks super strong.
I tell you that this episode's thumbnail is gonna be Diamond is Unbreakable, and I just noticed that it's episode 39, and Diamond is Unbreakable is 39 episodes, and that's pretty cool.
Hey, nice. Speaking of which, you want to talk some JoJo real quick?
Sure, we can talk some JoJo real quick.
So, what do you think of the series thus far? Because you've seen like almost all the anime so far.
Yeah, I really like it. It's one of the most consistently entertaining things I've ever blown through like this. I say blown through, but I've watched it pretty steadily. Some parts are pretty blown through. I blew through Battle Tendency pretty quickly because that was just so captivating.
Yeah, just 2 or 3 2 or 3 days later, you're like, I'm done with Battle Tendency. Holy shit!
Yeah. That's so funny because I think watching Phantom Blood actually took me longer than watching Battle Tendency.
To be fair,
I think the middle of Phantom Blood is kind of dull, but
a little bit. Though I really like, though it does have its like high points.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, like the end of episode 5 has the best use of "to be continued."
Yeah.
That's when Jonathan's fighting Tarkus, and Zappelli's like, he realizes like, well, guess I'm dying here.
Guess I'll die.
That's dun, dun, dun.
That's the Zappelli motto right there. Guess I'll die.
It took you a little longer to get through Stardust Crusaders than I thought it would. But that said, I'm surprised you're taking so long with Diamond is Unbreakable, because part 4 is my favorite.
I don't really think I'm taking that long with it. I think it's been pretty steady. I mean, there's been a few days where I've been watching like pretty much 2 episodes a day or so, except for a few days where I didn't.
I don't know. Normally,
just because JoJo's format is so like, it's kind of inviting because like everything's broken up into like these 2 or 3 episode chunks. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like it's hard to watch 3 episodes because then you're like stopping halfway through an arc. So sometimes I'll just watch like an arc or 2 and then be like, okay, that's good.
Like, I'm satisfied with that for today.
Yep.
I don't know. I normally watch, like, no matter what anime it is, I tend to try and watch at least 5 episodes in a day.
Yeah. I guess I kind of like that, but not with everything. I'm kind of stressing though, because I want to rewatch all of SAO for season 3. Not that I necessarily need to, but I feel like it's been long enough that I could, and I never saw Ordinal Scale, so, and that's a cramped time span right there, especially since I got a lot of other things going on.
Yeah. I'm really glad you're enjoying JoJo, mostly because I finally have somebody else to talk to about JoJo. Yay.
Yeah, it's true. It's surprising how quickly it's become pretty captivating. Looking forward to finishing part 4 and getting the part 5. I like part 4 a lot. The directing and color choices have gotten pretty wild again. After like being kind of neutral in Stardust Crusaders.
I think it helps that with part 4, the story is a lot more centralized to a smaller area. Like everything takes place inside Morio.
Yeah.
Whereas Stardust Crusaders, they were constantly bounding from one part of the world to a different part of the world.
I do like the look of Stardust Crusaders, don't get me wrong, but like it's a little bit more standard than the fucking kaleidoscope that was Battle Tendency. And then the whatever trip this is that part 4 is.
Yeah. If I had to pick like my 2 favorite parts, they're definitely parts 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't like parts 1 and 3. I like both parts a lot. Yeah. Phantom Blood is very Fist of the North Star-esque in terms of its characterizations and I like the beginning and the end of Phantom Blood a lot. The middle just kind of bores me a little. Yeah, it's not quite as interesting in the middle when they're fighting like Tarkus and Bruford. Yeah, it's also just like it's hard to get super invested in something you know is going to last 9 episodes. So a little bit, yeah. But I think that just kind of comes with the territory of the fact that they were adapting the shortest part of the manga. Yeah, and they had to adapt both parts, like parts 1 and 2, in 26 episodes. Yeah, so most of, if I remember correctly, like they averaged like 5 to 6 chapters per episode for Phantom Blood. Yeah, but averaged like 4 chapters for Battle Tendency. Yeah. Battle Tendency is so quick paced and enjoyable though. Like it is kind of the most concentrated amount of JoJo that there is, really. It kind of is, and it ends with just the absolute insanity of Cars the Ultimate Life Form. Oh, I love the Ultimate Life Form stuff. I love Cars. Cars is so great. Yeah. Go Vampire Dubstep Squirrel. Yeah. I think I almost think like Dio's return at the end of Stardust Crusaders is actually not quite as epic as what Cars was doing, which is weird to say after so much buildup, but
Yeah.
Yeah, with Dio, it's more that this son of a bitch from the late 1800s is back 100 years later, and he's still fucking shit up for the Joestars.
Yeah.
It's just that he was such a massive hurdle to overcome for Jonathan, and his power has grown so exponentially from that due to the fact that he's got a stand now.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. It just feels like despite all the buildup, it's just kind of like another arc in a lot of ways.
I suppose so.
Yeah. It's still really good. I watched it with the dub, and it was really good. I watched the OVA version of the fight too, which is beautifully directed, if nothing else.
Oh, absolutely. Like that's one thing I will give the Part 3 OVA. I don't think it's a good JoJo. I don't think it's a good JoJo
it's not
adaptation.
JoJo's, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good animation right there.
It's a good anime, but it's not a good JoJo anime.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way I can describe the Part 3 OVA.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel like JoJo. It just doesn't feel like JoJo to me at all.
Yeah.
Whereas the David production series, it's like, yep, that's JoJo, all right.
that is the JoJo right there.
Because you read the manga and it's just so wild and over the top, and the OVA tries to it takes itself very seriously.
Yeah.
It's relatively straight-laced, all things considered.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird comparison to make.
Yep.
It's a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah. And I've been reading a lot of stuff about what happens in parts 6, 7, and 8. And it's like, oh my god, I cannot wait for them to get to this stuff because it's fucking insane.
I know. Snails.
Snails and plankton and like alternate dimensions and fucking whatever the fuck the steel ball run is.
A race across the United States to find the body parts of Jesus Christ.
A fucking president that can warp between alternate dimensions. Gay priests.
I'm sorry. No. A president named Funny Valentine.
A man with 4 testicles.
That's the least weird part of Part 8.
I love the description on Tumblr, like, Part 8. A man with 4 testicles wakes up with no memory and must solve the mystery of having 4 testicles by stealing things.
Baseball is wrong. Man with 4 balls cannot walk.
Especially like some of the stand powers just get absolutely reality-shatteringly insane.
Oh my good lord.
Yeah.
I've heard people call Part 5 simultaneously JoJo's descent into absolute madness and JoJo's descent into the seinen demographic.
It doesn't go full seinen until Steel Ball Run, but it certainly starts getting there apparently.
Yeah, like from what I understand of Part 6, Araki got away with a lot for running in Weekly Shonen Jump.
Mm-hmm. I heard Jolene's introduction is literally her complaining that a fellow prison inmate saw her masturbating.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
from what I understand. And then she proceeds to flip you off in 5 languages.
Yeah.
I want to see Jolene so bad. She looks like so much fun.
Yeah. I hope David the sentient animating biomass is committed to this.
In the biomass.
Yeah. In the same way Shaft is like very committed to adapting all of Monogatari, I hope David is really set out to like keep making JoJo for however long they can.
Well, Part 5 is
every 2 years or so they have a new season.
Yeah,
should be pretty good. Hopefully by the time they get to it, Part 8 will be a complete thing they can adapt.
Yeah. Well, Part 5 is the most popular part of the series in both Japan and Italy. Yeah. So it's most likely going to sell great, and we're probably going to get Part 6.
Yeah.
We're going to get Part 6 at least.
Yeah.
The question is just what they're going to do for Steel Ball Run, because that's significantly longer than any of the previous parts of the manga.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to have to be like a full year-long series.
Yeah.
Much like Stardust Crusaders was.
Yeah. Yeah, really looking forward to all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what else have you been up to aside from JoJo and the DuckTales?
I watched all of Disenchanted.
I saw the first 3 episodes. I think up to the episode where the demon character gets taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So episode 3. It's pretty fun. I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot slower paced than Futurama or Simpsons.
Yeah.
But the jokes still do hit.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. It's still got a lot of the same visual gag humor.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more serialized than either of the previous 2 shows.
Yeah. Some people are like, "Oh, it doesn't get good to the last 3 episodes." I don't agree. I think it's good all the way through, but I agree that it does get a lot better towards the end. So many plot hooks for next season. It's great. That was a fun ramp. I watched season 3 of Camp, which is really good. I wasn't watching the. I really hate Rooster Teeth's fucking it's new episodes of their stuff are exclusive to sponsors for a whole week now.
So lovely.
Yeah, and they're not really putting them on YouTube anymore because YouTube adpocalypse and whatnot.
Speaking of YouTube, Hasbro actually has the first 2 episodes of Transformers Cyberverse on their YouTube channel, which I'm probably going to watch later tonight. What is
this I'm hearing about right now for the first time?
Yeah, a new Transformers series. It's based on it's based on what Hasbro is referring to as the Evergreen toy line, which is a series of standardized toy designs that is G1 based.
Yeah.
That they plan on continually selling into the future.
Yeah.
It's sort of kind of their replacement for the aligned universe.
Yeah, the not so aligned universe.
Yeah, this one is more merchandise driven than it is plot driven, which I think is going to help them keep consistency a lot better.
Cyberverse.
I saw the first few minutes of Cyberverse, and my only issue so far is, can we please, for the love of fucking God, have a modern Transformers interpretation where Bumblebee is not mute?
I mean, we had Robots in Disguise.
That's a sequel to Prime, though.
It's barely a sequel to Prime, honestly.
A sequel to Prime. But like, can we please have one interpretation of Bumblebee now? Like the
animation looks a lot like the designs are a little different, but the animation looks a lot like RID.
It does. It looks really good. Like visually, it looks really nice. My only issue is that it's one of those 11 episode shows.
Yeah, I'm reading that right now. Oh my God, stop doing this.
Oh yeah. Speaking of 11 episode shows, I saw the first 2 episodes of Mega Man Fully Charged.
Yeah,
it's a show.
Oh, did you watch the Rise of the TMNT? Didn't you?
I did. I watched the premiere episode of that one.
That's pretty good. I like it.
One thing I really like about that one is just how wild the animation is.
Yeah, it's kind of stop and go for me. When it wants to be wild, it's pretty wild, but then other times it feels very like snappy. It feels very like
I think it looks fine to me because the focus is more on dynamic keyframing rather than fluid motion. And I think that benefits it a lot better than if they were focusing on just trying to keep a consistent like a consistent frame rate or fluidity throughout.
I like those things though. I like great keyframes. I also like consistency and fluidity.
It's very
but then like I like but then I don't like when you go full fluidity and ignore good keyframes like fucking Space Dandy or whatever. I don't like that either. So
yeah.
Can I just have the best of both worlds? Can we Hannah Montana this a little bit?
Like Rise of the TMNT is extremely Trigger-esque to me in terms of its visual design and animation.
That's true. It reminds me a lot of like the very few parts of Ninja Slayer that actually were animated.
It does, yeah. And like some of the wild moments of Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
Maybe not as complex as Kill la Kill. It also has an amazing opening theme.
Yeah.
Like that is like the first time I heard that, I'm like, oh god, this is going to be stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah.
Guess what it was?
Yeah.
I like that they're still using the base melody of the original '87 cartoon, but they're just kind of doing their own thing now.
Yeah.
In regards to the lyrics and overall.
With nothing to suggest the series is a follow-up to Robots in Disguise, except for the fact that it looks pretty similar to it. If I was a casual fan, I'd be very, very confused by this.
But yeah, I saw the first 2 episodes of Mega Man Fully Charged. The general tone and feel of it is kind of like a slightly younger, skewing version of the original Ben 10.
Yeah.
It's got some solid action. The animation's pretty nice. I'm not quite sold yet on this interpretation of Mega Man, specifically how he relates to Dr. Light in particular. Because my main problem is that he is Mega Man, but Dr. Light doesn't know he's Mega Man. It's implied that his sister, who, for some fucking reason, it's implied that his sister made his battle armor and the Mega Mini thing that's inside of his head. Surprisingly, Mega Mini's not nearly as annoying as I thought he would be. He's actually kind of amusing more often than not. And it's got a lot of cool little nods to the game, like when Mega Man fights Fireman in episode 2.
Yeah.
A remix of the original NES Fireman theme plays in the background.
Yeah.
Which I think is really awesome. And the first episode actually opens up on a recreation of the Mega Man 2 title screen.
Oh yeah.
Which was just a really nice little nod that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm planning on keeping an eye on very much. I've heard some weird things about later episodes. Like there's like apparently Mega Man has a dark doppelganger called Namagem, which is literally Mega Man backwards.
That reminds me of a Family Guy skit.
Like, what doesn't?
I know. Where, okay, so Peter is in the car, and he puts his hand out the window, and he raises up, and then it gets like cut off. His arm gets cut off by a like an overpass. And then Meg's like, "Oh my god, Dad, your arm!" He's like, "Don't worry, Meg, I can regenerate." And then he just randomly regenerates his arm. and then like it cuts away after that scene. It cuts away to the disembodied arm behind a bush, and then the arm grows into another Peter. But this one's got a green shirt and white pants, and he's like, "My name is Retep, and I am evil." It's the funniest fucking shit.
The weird thing about Fully Charged is that it's cherry picking elements of classic Mega Man while also trying to do its own unique thing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's this weird 50-50 blend.
Yeah.
One thing that I will give stuff like Battle Network and Star Force is that they were dramatically different from the classic series, so they kind of had their own identity. With Fully Charged, I feel like it wants to have its own identity, but it feels beholden to the classic series material to some degree.
Yeah.
Like, you have Mega Man and Dr. Light, but Dr. Wily is actually Mega Man's is actually Mega Man's classmate for some reason.
What?
Like he's this teenager named like Burt Wiley, and
What the fuck?
I know, what the hell is this shit?
What?
I know, what is this?
What the fuck?
I know. And like we do have a lot of the classic Mega Man bad guys, but we also have some random new bad guys, like, you know, Namagem instead of, like, I don't know, Proto Man.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't Blues here? Where is Blues?
Yeah.
But they also put Rush in there, even though they don't have Blues or Roll for whatever. It's just really weirdly cherry picked.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for me to really call it good or bad, because it feels just stuck in between trying to do its own thing and trying to follow the classic series.
Yeah.
I hope it can get its own identity more later down the line, but as it stands, it's just this weird mishmash that I'm not too sure on.
All right.
It's at the very least written okay, and the action's pretty fun.
All right.
So it's not a loss.
All right.
Kids love it.
Well, I'm going to be honest, Kevin. I am very tired of sitting in this chair.
I am very tired of sitting in this chair as well. My ass is sweating.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we've raved long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Kevin, if you want to plug yourself, do so here.
Oh, absolutely. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at CCharmaderK. I mostly post on Twitter, but I reblog a lot of stuff on Tumblr, and I only really use Instagram to keep in touch with one of my friends. I also have a YouTube channel, which I am currently using the related Google Plus account to have this hangout right now. Yep. If you see a guy in any random video with an Aoi Asahina avatar named Kevin Faulkner, that is me.
How specific?
YouTube.com/CCharmaderK, if I remember correctly. It's always been that way. Always has been, ever since high school. Ever since. Aside from that...
what happened to that Otaku Midnight relaunch I kept hearing about?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
We're still working on it.
I guess so.
So where can they find you?
You can find me at as Zeke Freak on Twitter, on Reddit, I guess, on PSN, and most prominently probably on the Danganronpa Amino, where I post my various fan works, blogs, and other such things, and I run a few chat rooms there and stuff.
Personally, if you're a Danganronpa V3 fan, I suggest checking out A Wolf's Cry, which is his fantasy AU.
Yes, that would be lovely. Chapter 16 is going well, and I should have it out by the end of the week, probably, maybe. Nice. Aside from that, we have a Discord server that you can join if I remember to put the link in the description. We always enjoy having new people there and expanding our prequel meme-loving family. You must like prequel memes. That's literally a requirement. I can't fathom anyone who would stay around in our channel if they don't like prequel memes.
You just see the two of us. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Exactly. Someone comes in that don't like prequel memes, like, they can't do that. Shoot them or something.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. Anyway, so yeah, if I remember, then you can join our Discord server. And that is, I also have a Tumblr, but I don't really use it that much aside from reblogging stuff. It's kind of it. I'm not a huge social media person anymore, honestly. Yeah, next episode comes out sporadically, whenever we have enough to discuss and whatnot. But until then, this has been the Baka Gaijin Show. Thank you for listening. Zeke Freak out. Ciao, ciao for now.